Carls were hitting me up left and right, being like, Rich brings it on himself. That was the majority of the time. That's what I was getting this week. So I want to hear what you have to start off with. If you want to, you have anything?
Well, I know we're no Miss Cleo, but don't we say that all the time? Like, I mean, I'm glad that they finally see it, but like I see it all the time. I see it damn near every show. So, what specifically were they talking about?
The biggest one that I got feedback on was Rich's jail theory. Did you?
I didn't.
You didn't
No, I
catch it.
didn't. No, I didn't. And please fill me in. And
Okay.
I'd like to apologize to the listeners and to even Cavino Rich because we're moving right now and it's been tough. So I have not been able to listen consistently. So I'm kind of
Well,
counting on you guys to fill me in.
well, this is good. This is good because there's a lot of Carls that are can't listen to 100% of the show. So there's a lot of people that are missing shit, you know. And this one was one that Rich was saying that prison today is like a lot more, I guess, fun and shit than it was back in the day because people have like cell phones, right? And there was a handful of things that I had with this because he made it that okay, the people that I know in prison that have FaceTimed me from like fucking their iPad is because they got to rent it for like an hour and shit, right? And it has all kinds of blocks on it. It's not like Rich was like, oh, prison must not be bad these days because you can, have phones and you can access anything and watch Netflix. And I was like, listen, motherfucker, I'm like, they don't just give them phones. If they have phones, they're contraband. You
Okay,
know.
I got a real quick question. I just quick interruption.
All right.
Does this dumb bastard not know that there's levels to prison? What level is he talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing is, he was making it. He in his scenario, and I wrote some of the things down. He said, Andy, let me see.
Because level 4 is no
Oh,
fun.
you know what? Fuck, I wrote it on my notes. Okay. Well, no, he was saying these were all the things that he was saying that. Okay, if you're an introvert, he was saying that it's good. He was saying if you're in a country club type prison, he said if you don't have any friends, if you don't have any family, and if you don't have to worry about getting raped. And so I was like, okay, nobody. It's not like when you go to prison, dog. They say, let's have a checklist of shit. Do you want to go to a normal prison or do you want to go to a country club Martha Stewart type prison? Huh?
Well,
You know.
not only that, dude, but I've known people my whole life been in and out of prison. And the thing is, like, I don't give a shit if you're in the best prison or you're at level 4 high desert. There's politics involved.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people at all levels that don't want to see you get out. And they want to see you stay longer. And there's people, there's politics involved. Are you going to play the race game? Are you going to go with your race? Are you going to go with your gang? Like, and that shit's in all levels because the thing is, not every bad dude gets busted for the worst shit his first time they got busted.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean that they're a good guy because they're in the lightest prison. They just haven't got busted for no real shit yet. So there's you got a bunch. That's a concrete jungle, and there's politics involved. And I don't think Rich Davis clearly understands that. And basically from the guy that didn't have a PB and J till he was 30, I don't expect him to. But again, he's just speaking on something he really has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
No, and see, and the thing is, like, I think he's coming from a very ignorant place. Like, I don't know if it was Jason in Tampa or Austin Arnold. One of them called in and
Probably Jason in Tampa.
yeah, probably. But they were like, Rich, they were like, do you know anybody that's ever been to prison? He was like, no. And I was like, you can't even think of one person that's ever been to prison. I'm like, that sounds kind of like, I mean, foreign, you know? And for him, I can see why he's like thinking the way he is. Because I'm like, I don't know if he saw it on a TikTok video or he saw what, but I'm like, these people aren't getting actual cell phones. If they are having cell phones, they're contraband, right? They're smuggling them in through their ass. But
But I used to or they got a guard
yeah,
because there's crooked guards. I won't say a whole hell of a lot, but I had
Yeah.
heard stories about stories about stories
No, but Rich
about
is Rich is making it like they're like, hey, fucking, change in your prison clothes and here's your phone. Let's go. You know, that's how
right.
he's making it.
No,
It's not like that.
no.
And even when they do get shit, like they do
You got
get
to have money though, bro. You also have to have money.
exactly.
He has to look at the demographic. Most people who are in prison don't come from a family of wealth because
Mm-hmm.
if they did, they kept them out of prison, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do shit that it's just unavoidable. You're going to jail. You fucked up. But for the most part, if you come from a wealthy background, that sentence is going to either be shorter if you even catch one at all. And if you come from a wealthy background and people are putting money in your books, you can buy all that shit. You can buy anything in prison if you got the right amount of money.
Yeah.
It
No.
just is what it is. You can get drugs, you can get cell phones, you can get whatever the fuck you want, tobacco, lighters, whatever you want if you got money. But just because they have it in there, if you don't come from a background full of wealth, or you don't have someone putting money on your books from the streets, how are you going to buy it?
Yeah.
You
No.
want 15 cents an hour in the general store? I mean, or mopping this or that at the cafeteria? How are you going to buy it?
Yeah. No. And see, like you said, you're gonna have to buy it. So you're thinking about even if they are able to rent like an iPad or something, right? Say they don't know a guard or they don't fucking know a homie or nothing, and they're gonna rent their iPad and shit. I'm like, dog, they're fucking. It's gonna cost money for them to rent it. They're only gonna get it for like an hour or so or whatever, or half a day or whatever the fuck it is. They're also they're gonna have all kinds of stipulations on the fucking iPad. It's not like it's gonna be like here's a fucking normal ass iPad. And
Right.
and so
No.
like this motherfucker is making it like fuck it, anybody could do prison. You know, like some of the shit he said, where he said if you don't have to worry about getting raped. Another thing that he mentioned was like fights and shit, right? So let's take rape off the table and let's just say fights, right? Because I mean, there's a better chance that you're gonna get fucked up.
But bro, if you're a chomo, they're gonna get you at any level,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
straight out. And,
well-
and you know what? And I challenge Rich Davis. If he doesn't even know what that term means, then he has no business speaking on the topic at all, unless
Yeah.
he just wants to be an idiot again.
no, and see what I'm thinking is like, I just don't know why this motherfucker like, yeah, when he made it in this ideal situation of, what did he say? I forget where my fucking notes are, but he said all this shit about, you know, if you go to a country club prison, if you have no friends or no family, you don't have to worry about getting raped and all this shit. Like, Doug, he's painting the most idealistic fucking version of prison when it's not like when you're looking for a house. You
No.
don't get to go and say, well, these are my haves and these are my have-nots. You know,
Right.
I'll go to your prison if I can have a single cell to myself,
And a cell phone.
You know?
If I have a Nextel.
or even Doug, even if it's not like a prison, but it's a jail, and they have like I have a homie who was locked up, and one of these, well, actually a couple of these, where they were like straight up fucking
Tell me you sent him money on JPay.
oh, actually no, but you know what? Not this particular homie, but I have another one that actually somebody that is close to my girl that we would send them money all the time, and I didn't even know about JPay till we started sending them money, but there's these like fucking dorm type fucking, you know, where they have 3 bunks
Yes.
and multiple fucking multiple
60,
bunks.
60 people in a
So-
dorm almost.
So there was like, I remember like my homie when he got locked up, he said that it was like, all right, like as soon as he was there like a day, and they had just gone over like the rules. He's Mexican, so it was at this particular jail. They had the Woods, the white guys, they had the Paisas, the Mexicans, and the Gorillas were the brothers, right? So
Right.
they had these, and so it was basically you get in here, and it wasn't a full on prison; it was a jail. So it was like you went with your race, whatever. But it was a crazier jail than like even the one that's here in town, you know. So it was a little more structured, kind of like a prison, and one of the things he said was like one of the first days, he's like, all right, shit's gonna pop off. Doug, they have like what, maybe 4 guards for fucking 60 people. When
Right.
shit's about to pop off, like it's gonna pop off. But Rich thinks he's gonna be sitting here on his iPad watching Dexter.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. And like, and even if you do fucking, if you're able to rent the fucking iPad or whatever, it might go to the fucking big homie. He might take it from you and say, hey, you're fucking
Right.
you rent it because you have the privilege to rent it, but I'm gonna fucking use it today. You know?
Hey, bro, that shit with Debo on Friday, like in prison, it's way different. It's like way more extreme than that. Like that's just it. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, what are you gonna cross the Pisces? Because if you cross one, you cross all of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna cross the brothers. You're gonna cross them all.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's just Doug. I just hate when he comes from like a perspective of something like he knows absolutely nothing about. You know, because it's like I don't know, Doug. Like to be like
I had a light bulb moment right now.
what's up?
My light bulb moment tells me like maybe Rich Davis is a genius
Why?
because he gets us to talk about this shit with passion, and he's a radio guy. So maybe this is like he plays stupid like, oh, I'm Dickie fucking Davis, but he's doing this with a plan, bro. Because he definitely most of the shit we talk about is his dumb ass. Maybe that's his fucking ingenious fucking strategy, and no one knows.
You know what? I would agree if Covino didn't say that Rich brought it up in the car and they had a conversation about it like on their way to the office or whatever.
Okay.
The fuck, you know. So that is I do think sometimes he does play stupid.
He does. He does.
Doug, I just know my fucking camera's gonna fucking go off because for some reason this shit fucking won't connect, and I've been trying to connect and trying to fucking keep on topic as I'm talking to you.
But check this out. I want to switch gears, but I don't want to switch gears. So tying into what he did about this, that dude, I did catch that he said COVID was over.
Oh yeah,
and that's strategic that he did that. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, Doug, and I'm like,
he knows.
My brother-in-law, his uncle just passed away, right? He just got COVID, and I'm like, Doug, it's crazy. Like it's like, I mean, I feel like Rich is fortunate to not be in certain situations where, you know, I don't feel like he really knows anybody that has died from COVID. And I'm just like, it sounds like it's kind of fucked up to take that kind of stance when there are people, like I told you, my brother-in-law's uncle who passed away like 2 weeks ago, probably.
Right.
You know? And, and it's just like, there's people dying. I mean, one of my part-timers, her fucking her I guess uncle-in-law, her husband's uncle just died like a month before that. And and it's just like, Doug, like, I mean, I guess, you know, they're fortunate to not have anybody pass like that's that close to them. Like, even I'm not even saying these people are close to me, but just knowing of these people but to say something like it's over is like the most ignorant shit of all time. And I feel like, honestly, it comes down to like, you know, we're all guilty of, you know, you don't believe it unless it's affecting you directly, you know, like you see these marches for like, oh, fucking, a disease where you grow a second head and you don't give a fuck until you grow a second head. Right. So now you're doing these marches and shit. I feel like Rich is the biggest culprit of this because I feel like he's got COVID already. He fucking has the vaccine.
He fucking whizzed through COVID. It didn't even affect his ass.
Yeah, like one of the most like fucked up things that I can't get it out of my head is where he was like, yeah, one day I was like, he goes, yeah, my back's kind of hurting. He was like, but that was the extent of it. So to have somebody that went through it like that, and now, so to him now, he don't give a fuck. It's non-existent to him. But to just say something that fucking ignorant on your platform, I just feel it's like really fucked up. You know?
You know what, too, bro? I just thought of something. His in-laws, they either love his ass or they can't stand him.
I feel like they love him because I believe he fucking cheeses it up like a shit ton while he's with them. So I feel like they really do love him. And
he has to pull Rich Davis shit in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has to. He has to, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of examples because I know there has been some where he traveled to Texas and shit. Where
remember the internet?
I was gonna say the internet, but
he snapped. Remember that day?
Yeah, I remember that, and there was also, I can't remember the specific situation, but there was something about like the refrigerator or something, or he was naked in the kitchen in the fridge in the middle of the night or something. There was something crazy where I was just like, I don't know, but But yeah, no, I definitely know that
Well, we know one part of him that didn't cast a shadow.
yeah, of course. Oh, speaking of which, Doug, did you catch Cavino's nuts this week?
Yes, I did. I
Doug,
did.
Doug, you know what I made?
And I didn't want to catch them. That's one thing I can go my whole life. I mean, shout out to Cavino because I heard they were baboon balls, but because I just looked away, bro. I didn't see the detail. I seen it. They pointed it out. I was like, nah, I'm good. But shout out Cavino. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to look at his nuts, man.
No, what made me laugh about that was, because I had it in like the picture-in-picture shit right on my computer when I was at work. So, they're talking and shit, and I was like doing my shit, going back and forth. And then Rich was like, oh, yeah, doing squats or something. And then you see Cavino hop onto the chair.
Right.
And then so he hops on, and I was like, did Cavino just show his nuts? Right. I had like a split second where I was like, were those Cavino's nuts? Right. And then Spot and Rich just
that's about the extent. Yeah, same thing.
And then fucking Doug. And then I look at all the feedback. Fucking nuts. Everybody like in the in-show chat was just talking about his nuts. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, Cavino just like junked us all and didn't even fucking know it.
Hey, but for the record, I did not watch it again. I was good. I did what you did. Is that what I think it is? And I'm like, all right, fuck. Moved on to the next fucking deal. But at the same time, how many of the Carl screenshot it? That's their fucking that's their screensavers.
You know what I did do? I'll be honest. I screenshot it. I flipped it upside down.
Oh, you didn't.
No, check this out. Because I was gonna post it, right? I screenshot it. I flipped it upside down, and with his legs and his nuts, it looked like a W. So the way it was, I made it into the Wu-Tang symbol. So
hold on. Let me. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. You took a picture of Cavino's balls and turned it into the Wu-Tang symbol?
Yeah, I flipped it upside down, and then I go, no, you know what? I go, that's too far to post, like, because it was like his straight up nuts, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna post this. What was funny is shortly after that, because I flipped it, and it looked like the Wu-Tang symbol, which is fucking funny because even like the Wu-Tang shit is like a little like kind of turned a little bit, and just like it looked like it looked really like it. That's why I was cracking up. And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna post that shit. And then Covino was like all upset on the show. He was like, don't post anything. He was like, if you post my nuts, you're not my friend. I have a daughter and all this shit. And it was fucking.
I'm with him on that one. I'm with them.
So Doug, so check this out. So like maybe like a half hour after the show, Spot texts me and he's like, hey. He's like, don't, because since I do some of the TikTok shit, he was like, don't post anything of Cavino's nuts. He's like, he's really sensitive about them.
I mean, I don't blame him. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was funny though. But that was definitely, I think, one of the moments of the week is that. And then I'm glad though that Cavino had a sense of humor about it, because the next day and the next couple of days he kept joking about it, and I was like, that was cool. I know like he understands it was like all in fun, and like. It actually was a really good moment for the show because it was funny as fuck, you know?
Right, for sure.
But there was something else that I doubt you caught because it was only a little snippet. But, okay, as parents, right, we all do shit that is maybe your kid fucking drops a turd on the floor when they're a baby or something or whatever, right?
Or as a teenager, but yeah, whatever.
But whatever, right? Fucking, there's shit you do as a parent and you're just like, okay, there's my fucking kid.
Yeah.
Doug, again, Rich brings this shit on himself. I'm sorry, Rich, but fucking one of the things he said this week that I guess he mentioned it on his podcast on Have Kids, they said. Mm-hmm. There was two things, actually. The one that I was like, this is fucking disgusting. He said that Ben had a booger. Did you catch this one or no?
I think I did.
Ben had a booger and he sucked the booger out of Ben's nose.
Oh!
Come
with what, like a little fucking squeegee?
With his mouth. He said he sucked it out of Ben's nose and spit it out. And then
they got tools for that. There's devices.
Doug, okay. I'm like,
what's he put his mouth on the siphon of the gas tank too?
Okay.
Why would you do that?
My daughter's 5 and like a half roughly, right? Never have I once ever fucking sucked a booger out of her nose. There's
Bro, I've
plenty.
been a part of 7 kids. I ain't never did no nasty old shit like that. Why is it
Seven
necessary?
kids, not one booger did you ever suck out of
No,
their nose, did you?
no.
That dog, I was like, what? And so Kavina was bagging on him, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, are you serious? And
Yeah.
Rich was like, kids do nasty shit. And he was like, you produced them. He was like, there's nothing gross about your kid. You produced them. I'm like, yeah, you produced them, but now they're a little human. I'm not going to lick their shit just because it's my kid. I'm not going to eat their boogers just because it's my kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's times where there is some gross shit that you have to do, you know, as a fucking parent. You know, you have to rub fucking cream.
Yeah.
You have to rub cream on their ass or something if they get a rash or whatever. But sucking a booger, I've never heard of that ever from anybody in life, ever. That was the first time I've ever heard about that. So for him to say that he fucking sucked the booger out, and then I guess he tried to make it like it was better because he spit it out. He was like, I sucked it out of Ben's nose and I spit it out. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? That's fuck. And then the other thing that I felt was a little more normal, but I still have never done, as he said, he squishes his Ben's diapers to check the shit or something.
How old is Ben? Hold on. How old is Ben?
Ben's like 2, isn't he?
He's still in diapers?
I guess. Well, I mean, yeah, he's a big ass kid too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought that fucker was like in kindergarten already, as big as he is.
I saw him. I thought Ben had a mustache by now, but
I mean, I know he's not Robin Givens, but he's definitely the head of his class.
yeah, I could understand if he swallowed like a pearl that was very, you know, expensive or some shit, and you're like, I gotta find this shit. But to just squish his shit because you're like, oh, Ben had corn today. That's nice. Like, I don't know.
Rich he's a weird dude.
I think he. Oh my god, Doug. There's just some shit, man.
Yeah, but that's why he likes prison.
Because
he's gonna clavo some shit and either dig through his own shit or he's gonna swallow it. He's a weird dude, bro.
That's fuck. Oh man.
See, all this shit ties together one way or another. I'm telling you.
Oh, you know what? Okay, fuck it. We'll call this episode Bag on Rich because you know what? I think we're catching up because last episode we didn't bag on him and we actually like complimented a lot of the shit he said. So yeah, we'll call this one Bag on Rich. But another thing he mentioned, Doug, and I had another conversation with one of the Carls about this, where do you know who Billy on the Streets is?
No, I heard them talking about it, but no, hell no, I don't know Billy on the Streets.
I don't know who the fuck that is. And Rich was like,
and it don't even sound cool, so I don't even have the urge to Google it. Like I heard it on the show, but I didn't even fucking bother to check it out because if you're Billy on the Streets, hey, fucking, I hope it works out for you, pal. I'm good.
No, and see, the clips they were playing weren't even funny. Like Rich was like, oh yeah, this dude's fucking hilarious. He's on social media, blah 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 blah, and.
Doug, a million hilarious people on social media.
But Doug, fucking Rich had called out one of the listeners on the in-show chat or whatever because they had said like normal dudes haven't heard of this guy or something. And Rich was like, oh well, then you're a bobo. He's everywhere. Then you're a bobo. He's like, it's not my fault. You're dumb and all this shit. Doug, as a normal fucking grown ass dude, fucking half of the Carls are truckers. Some work in the fucking oil patches and shit. And I'm like, you think these motherfuckers know who Billy on the Streets is? Doug, if anybody, you know, would know about him that fucking has like the time and shit to maybe catch this shit would be me. Because all day I'm at a fucking computer at work, right? And I'm like, and I lean more pop and shit with the shit I listen to and stuff. And so I'm more involved with pop culture, right? I look at Page 6 and TMZ and see whatever's fucking going on. So, Doug, I would fucking know, but I don't know who the fuck this dude is. Like, that's
I watch TMZ. Hey, I look at TMZ and fucking Billy the fucking Kid or whatever you said that guy's name, and Billy in the Streets. I don't know. I ain't never seen that shit. And, you know, and not only that, like, I know who Mike 525 Rocket is. Mm-hmm. I know who Stale Cracker is. You know, I watch TikTok. Who the fuck's Billy the Kid or Billy from the Streets?
Yeah, no, I don't know, Doug. And see, I just don't get it. And another thing that, again, another Carl pointed out, I'm not gonna give their identity away, but one of the things that Rich said, and Doug, I think this is true for a lot of things, not just for what he had said, for what I had gotten in the message, but fucking Rich brought up TikTok radio on Sirius XM, right? And he was like, "Yeah, Sarah likes this," and then then he started talking about all kinds of shit about it and like how he digs it. Doug, honestly, I think he might have had it on, and Sarah was like, "Oh yeah, this is cool" or whatever. But I guarantee you, it was fucking him. I guarantee you, it was him, Doug, because that is like some of the corniest shit ever. Fucking TikTok radio, like
Yeah.
fucking, is this motherfucker listening to like Into the Thick of It? Into the Thick of It? They're not gonna know. They're gonna know. They're not gonna
Of course he
know.
is. Of
Like
course
all
he
fucking
is.
day. Like, are you fucking serious? This is a grown ass man. I
Right.
don't. I
No.
mean,
But
it's just.
he's a grown ass Rich Davis though, so he's like mostly man, but he's kind of
It's
he's
just.
Rich Davis.
It's just crazy to me that he would fucking be listening to TikTok radio and then blame it on his wife. There was something else during the week that he had mentioned. Oh, the Hallmark movie or whatever the fuck it was, where he said, hold on, connection. He had said, his wife wanted to catch a really fucking awful movie or something. And Covino was like, why the fuck would you seek that out? And Rich was like, oh, Sarah said, hey, let's watch something really bad. And Covino goes, why would you fucking... There's shit that you're watching, and you're like, oh, fuck, man, this was a bad choice. This shit's really bad. But you don't say, hey, let's waste 2 hours of our fucking life that we're never going to get back. And
Right.
Rich tried to blame it on Sarah. Again, I think that was Rich. And I think, you know what? And honestly, I think secretly Rich really dug it. Because he was like, oh, we watched this really terrible movie called fucking, like, Dancing in the Snow or whatever the fuck. These Christmas bullshit movies.
Yeah.
He was like, we watched it and it was so terrible. Spot, play the trailer. And then Spot played the trailer. And he kept making Spot, he was like, hey, pause it. Right here. So you know that the guy's going to get the girl. Oh, pause it right here. Oh, you know that. And I'm like, dog, you fucking enjoyed it. If you enjoy it, just fucking say you're going to enjoy it. We're going to break your balls for it, but at least own up to it.
Right.
Don't be here and be like, oh, fucking my wife wanted to watch it. And then, we were like, oh, this is so bad. No, you enjoyed it, motherfucker. But yeah, is there anything else you have besides bagging on Rich? Because I think we might need to change topics a little bit.
No, actually, I hate to say it, but it's his own fault. But I got two more.
All right, what are they?
He said, "Is anybody still shopping in person, or are they doing it all online?"
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
catch that?
Yeah.
Bro, does he not know? Again, I'm a retail guy, so he's outside. If we're not talking top 20 or top 40, he should stay in his lane unless he just wants to get criticized and made fun of. But at the end of the day, does he know that in COVID, like grocery store numbers went through the roof, and that was like the first place you could take your family again was to the grocery store, and so people, I don't think that's worn off. I don't necessarily think Black Friday people are camping out overnight and it's 200 deep in the line at Best Buy anymore. I don't think that type of shopping in person is still going on. But absolutely, I mean, I don't know about where you're at or what kind of stores you have in Yuma, but every Best Buy, every Apple store, every Home Depot, Lowe's, anything big here where I'm at, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're cracking. I mean, it's packed. The malls are packed. Everything's
No,
packed.
100%, dog. Like in our mall, we have like all the normal shit, like the Best Buys and fucking furniture stores and all that stupid shit, right? And like the Journeys and Planet X, PacSuns, all that stupid shit. Dog, it's crowded as fuck. Even trying to get into the mall, it's a fucking line to get into the mall. And I was at Best Buy last weekend. There was a gang of people in there. Home Depot. Dog, Home Depot, I don't know if it's because they have like usually a lot of deals around this time, of course, because of Christmas. But dog, Home Depot is almost fucking annoying to go into. So, and
Right.
I'm at Home Depot at least once a week, if not more. And definitely on the
Right.
weekends. And that shit is popping. Like fucking popping. So I don't know what he was talking about, or if you know what, I think it's another Rich Davis thing where since he's doing a lot of shopping online, he thinks the entire world is.
Yeah, because think about it, even like car dealerships, You're not going to Chevy and building a car, or Toyota or Honda and building a car and it getting shipped to your dealer and you go pick it up. That, you know, you can hit Carvana and they'll bring you a car to your house. And I've had a dealership bring a used car to my house. But if you're trying to get a car right now, like a Camry or an Accord or a Civic or a Tundra or a Corolla, you have to take your ass down to the dealership and pray to God they got one that'll fit what you're looking for, because there's only a couple of each model when you get down there. So people are fighting for them. They're showing up even to the dealerships too. Everything is in demand. Same with that PlayStation 4. Like, it's hard as hell, or not 4, but the 5. You still got to hope you catch Best Buy on a good day and they got a couple in stock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, no. There's actually something else that I wanted to talk about related to that. When it reminded me when you were saying about the vehicles, right? You've had a vehicle delivered to you, and you this and that. Did you catch? And if you didn't, it's cool because I can explain it to the people listening that haven't caught it. But Rich Davis, he was talking about not congratulating people on like getting a vehicle because it's not a big accomplishment in his eyes. And
That's arrogant, bro.
Doug, he was saying, yeah, I could understand like if you get a new Tesla. He was like, yeah, congrats, man, that's dope, whatever, whatever. He was like, but if you get like an 8-year-old Honda or whatever the fuck he said, he used a car, like a more general car. But Doug, I'm like, who's to say that that motherfucker didn't work just as hard as the guy that bought the Tesla? Who, you know?
Bro, I don't give a shit if you're fucking 16 and you bought a fucking moped. If like that's a goal that you're proud to have accomplished, why wouldn't you want to say congrats? If you upgraded your life, why wouldn't you want to say, hey man, that's awesome?
No, and and he said the same thing about like people or kids graduating like from high school and shit. And he was like, oh, and I think Cavino asked him, so you don't congratulate kids on graduating high school? And he's like, congratulate them on what? Hey, you're not a moron? And I'm like, Doug, I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of people that I know that their families and shit still didn't graduate high school, you know? And so even though, yeah, to most people, it's not fucking the greatest thing in the world, it's still an accomplishment. It's still an accomplishment. So if he
It's
go ahead.
it's being respectful. It's being respectful and recognizing and just saying something good about someone that did something positive.
Yeah.
Like, how is that a fucking bad? How do you make an excuse? Not, that's just nice and respectful. How do you make an excuse not to be nice and respectful? Or how do you make a scale where you're only nice and respectful if they made a certain type of accomplishment? That's just
Doug,
idiot.
no, and he had said he was like, oh, he's like, but getting a car isn't a big deal. He's like, what do? You go to the dealer, you give him a couple grand. He's like, and then they say, here's your payment. And I'm like, for Rich Davis, that's not how it works for everybody. Some people have to save that money for that down payment. Some people, you know what I'm saying?
Or what about the million people that are homeless in California? It's a big deal, bro. We got a fucking homeless problem where they're camping out everywhere, and you know, homeless people, it feels like it's at an all-time high. That's getting a bucket that just drives is a big deal to all of them.
Yeah. Hold on, I don't know what happened to my camera. There we go. Yeah, no, I don't fucking get it, because I'm like, and you know what? This is one of the things that makes me believe either Rich forgot where he came from or he lies about where he came from, because he tells us like all the time how, like, you know, Cavino's at least like open and honest about it. Like he said he had like, you know, 15 pairs of Cavaricis and he had a brand new car when he turned 16, and you know, like his fucking house was the one that was always popping because they always had the newest shit. But Rich is like, no, I didn't grow up privileged. I didn't grow up. But dog, he acts more privileged now than Cavino does, and Cavino grew up fucking spoiled. So I don't know if he's just lying and saying like, oh, like his biggest thing is like, oh, we didn't have cable, you know?
You know what it is, bro? He's got typical fucking white guy blinders, is what it is. He's got white guy vision. That's what he's got, bro. He only sees things from a 42-year-old. I don't know what he makes, but I'm gonna assume it's a couple $100,000 a year or more. Fucking white guy vision. That's what he's got, bro. And it shows up and it's evident by every fucking thing that comes out of his mouth. He also fucking said, I don't know if you caught this one. He also was fucking giving Spot a little bit of shit about not owning a house, even though Spot actually owns a couple of houses. And I agree. There's pros and cons for both though. So you got to like right now, rent is about the same, if not a little bit cheaper than buying a home. Okay, if I was to go to Lompoc for what I'm going to pay for a mortgage, I probably save 400 or 500 bucks a month if I rent it, and then you're not including the property taxes there.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no AC in Lompoc, but if the roof has a leak and you got to re-roof it, or if there's something major with the electrical that goes on, I don't got to pay for that shit because I'm a renter. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, if you're saving 4 or 5, just call it 500 bucks a month times 12 months, you're saving 6 G's a year just based on the rent price versus what you would pay with the mortgage, not including the property taxes on a home like that's like 6 or 7 G's. So you're like 12, 13,000 right there, minus repair, and the gardener and all that bullshit. So I don't think he looks at it like that. Like that's a good fucking $12,000 a year. Put that in an account that's giving you a 7% return on your investment over 10 years. And if you do that, you're gonna have the same amount of money damn near as you would if you bought the fucking house.
And see, and this is what I don't fucking get, Doug. Like, say fucking you, El Cucuy, you lived in a studio apartment and you were fucking cool with it. Why the fuck do I care where you live or how you live your life?
Right.
Like, why the fuck does Rich care how Spot is fucking living? He's like, he wants him to buy a house. He wants him to, like, why? Spot is comfortable. He doesn't have any kids. He doesn't have any pets. Him and his wife are fucking chill. If they want to get a bigger, like, I know Spot was talking about maybe getting like a bigger house or bigger apartment to, accommodate some of his side hustles and shit. But that's cool. But why does he have to buy? If he doesn't want to, why the fuck are you like, why? Because you bought a house recently? Because
not only that, he also complimented Spot and he said, Spot, you've always been good with your money with investments and this and that. If you're good, like Rich acknowledged Spot was, you don't need to buy because obviously he has saving under control and investments. Rich, you said it best. Real estate's a great investment. And I personally believe, yes, it should be in your portfolio. But Rich also acknowledges Spot already has 2 homes. So he has real estate in his portfolio. You acknowledge he's good at investing. Get off his ass. But you know what it is, bro? It goes back to fucking kind of like I said, I shared that book with you, and the thing is with that book, Rich does things based off his ego. His ego feeds a lot of his actions and the things that he does and says because he needs to feel right and he needs to do things big. And there's reasons for that
and
shit.
look at somebody hit me up again. I'll say somebody else hit me up where they had said during that conversation, they were like, Rich is like the worst investor of all time because, Doug, when it comes to like when it comes to crypto even, right? All of a sudden, fucking Fox News or CNN is talking about fucking Shiba. And what does Rich do? Goes out and buys fucking 10 million fucking Shiba or whatever the fuck, right? Which that'd be like $50, but you know what I'm saying? He goes out and buys Shiba. Snoop Dogg did some NFT shit or whatever. So Rich goes out and buys that coin. Dog, when it gets to the level of Snoop Dogg, if that's when you are investing, that's a shitty investment. And I feel like
there's a good chance you missed the boat.
And even if you look at his, and I'm not going to talk shit about this, but I am going to talk shit. I'm saying mine aren't any better, right? When it comes to his picks on Sunday for his Dickie teaser town, right? Doug, honestly, a lot of his fucking picks are bullshit. And they fucking, you could say, oh, it's because the NFL is crazy this year. But you know what? I have friends that, not myself, because I'm a shitty fucking better when it comes on NFL. But I just love it because I'm a fucking degenerate, right? But I have friends that are actually good at it, who are hitting fucking every week. And I just feel like since Rich, this is what I had told the person that hit me up. They had said Rich is like a shitty investor. And I go, dog, when it comes to like crypto and fucking, and like his NFL picks, and I even feel like his stock market. I feel like when it comes to the stock market, whatever Doug tells him to do, he fucking does right away. He doesn't do any fucking research on his own. He doesn't do shit. He doesn't fucking nothing. Doesn't read anything. Doesn't look at fucking nothing. And so
he's like a 5-year-old, bro. He's like a 5-year-old, and like that's why half his stories are silly because it is not hard to leave an impression on Rich.
Well, see, and what I had said was Rich. The reason he thinks he's good at all this shit is because he's not poor, right? Because it's not like because if say he puts 10 G's into this stock, right, and it goes to shit, and now it's worth fucking 2 G's. He's not gonna fucking worry about it because it didn't mean shit for him to put it in, right? Or if he buys $1,000, $1,500, whatever dollars worth of Shiba or whatever, and it goes to shit, it doesn't matter because it didn't make a dent in his pocket. But just because it's not making a dent in your pocket doesn't mean that you're fucking succeeding in these investments. You know,
Right.
because
For
if you
sure.
went into it with if you weren't basing your fucking mortgage off of it, you know, where you actually fucking need it, then you would know if you were a good investor or not, right? Because you'd be like, oh fuck,
Right.
I put this in, it went to shit. How the fuck am I gonna pay my mortgage?
Now I can't pay
Yeah,
my bills.
but since he fucking already has that like allocated to throw away, when it doesn't
Right.
bring him a return, he doesn't give a fuck because it doesn't matter. But he fucking talks like he knows about it, you know?
He doesn't give a funk or a
Like
waggle.
it's just crazy, dog. Because I'm just like, I don't even know how we got on that topic from him fucking in the houses. Oh yeah, he was talking about Spot and him building or buying a house and shit. But oh yeah, and the same thing is like you mentioned, Spot owns multiple houses, right? But just because they're not
Right.
in LA and it's not one that he's currently living in, it's not good enough for Rich. Who gives a fuck?
But you know what? And the thing is that like I got an uncle lives in a damn, in a mobile home park. You know what I'm saying? And like I could never do that. And he's the only one in the family that does do that. But the thing is, he's perfectly happy. Who am I to tell him what's right or wrong for him? If he's in a spot for 400 bones a month and he has no complaints, who am I to have a complaint?
Yeah, exactly. Right? If he's fucking comfortable, and I don't know, it's him and his fucking cat or whatever, then cool. You know.
Or his 8 cat. I think he's got more than one. That fucker got a few. And I guess now he says he's dating a 39-year-old Vietnamese lady who's his doctor. I don't know. He's got Uncle Joe must be pimping it
Yeah,
over
he's
there,
got his
but,
life figured out, right?
but he's in the hood in a trailer park and he don't care. So whatever, if he's happy, I'm happy
Exactly,
for him.
right? If he's then who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know, Doug. I just feel like
Oh, Rich does
you know why though? Like I understand,
because he wants to sip his boba tea, bro. You
but
got
see,
that one?
what the fuck is boba tea?
Okay, you made my point. Good. I was gonna make a great question and a great argument, but you just
What
fixed it.
happened?
Cali really is the shit. It has to be it. I mean, they were talking about boba tea on the show, and Cavino had said not everyone knows what boba tea is, and then they had pointed it out, and he's right. There's not everyone. Rich was assuming everyone knew, I believe, and boba tea, you don't know what it is with the little jelly balls in the. You go to the little restaurant, and then they got flavors, and they got these little like, it's almost like jelly balls in your drink.
In your tea?
So they got a fat ass straw. It's like you can get flavored. It's like a iced tea, but they got these little balls in it, and when you sip it, it's called boba.
Oh,
And they were talking about on the show, and they were talking about how not everyone knows about boba
that's
tea.
funny because when you sip it, they call it boba. When you suck it, they call it mamar.
La Hueso.
So yeah, but I don't know what the fuck that is. And whatever. If Rich says, "Oh, you're a fucking doofus. You don't know what a fucking boba tea is." Well, fuck that. Okay.
I'm gonna tell Rich fucking que te benga choro. He needs to fucking hope he gets the shits.
Doug, I don't know, man. I just feel like I understand, as a friend, you want to see your friend doing well and you want to see this and this. But Doug, if your friend is content and your friend is cool, then why the fuck do you care? Like,
And he already knows how to invest. You already acknowledge that.
yeah, it's like, who gives a fuck? And then like Spot was talking about his savings or something, and Rich was like, "Why do you need a savings?" And Spot was like, "You don't want to have it." Like, and who gives a fuck why Spot wants it? If Spot's thinking, "Hey, you know what? If this Patreon shit doesn't work out, and with my investments and shit, I could fucking live the next fucking 6 months, a year, whatever, before I have to really find more employment or whatever." Well, then fucking, like, why the fuck does Rich care? Rich is saying, like, "Oh, well, why do you need to sit on money? Well, you're going to fucking die, and it's just going to fucking be there." Yeah, but...
That fucking dumbass just contradicted himself. First of all, you say he needs to buy a fucking house. Then you say, why does he need the savings? Hey, you dumb motherfucker. Doesn't he need some money in the bank so he can buy the house?
Well, see, and then what he also had said
Good God.
was, well, because Spot was saying, I would have to basically spend my life savings to put like a down payment on this house. When he was like, right now I have money in the bank, I'm comfortable. And then Rich was like, well, why do you need money in the bank? Why do you need to say, Doug? So he was gonna empty his fucking bank account into this house and be at zero. So he's want him to fucking be at zero to, and not even zero, Doug. Say he has still a little bit stacked away, but there's maintenance, there's property taxes, there's fucking everything. That's just the down payment, right? So now you're fucking in a $1-2 million house. Your fucking mortgage is gonna be nice and hefty, right? For a $1-2 million house that he doesn't even like because he's in fucking the valley and his ass is making a fucking he's gonna be making a payment on a house that he doesn't really give a fuck about. And he's gonna be and have no money in the bank. So fucking whatever, their future holds as far as their career, nobody really knows. And so he's gonna have no fucking cushion in case something does happen.
Well, you don't pressure someone into making a decision on a lifestyle choice like that. You're right. Everything you just said, like that's not an easy stroke. You don't know what's going on. The future, it kind of unfolds as we go. And that's a commitment. Like I'm about to make that commitment and I'm nervous as fuck because I'm kind of in a similar situation as those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the contract I got offered was 1 year. So I get it, and it was a great contract, but you're hoping is there 2 years and 3, 4, 5? I mean, what do you do? So I totally understand everything you just said, but what Rich doesn't get is you have to be comfortable making that type of decision and putting that pressure on yourself. That's not something that someone talks you into. You know what I'm saying? Like that has to be a life choice that you really feel strong about and you're betting on yourself and, you think that you're going to be successful. That's just not a decision you make just to make.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know why he has such a fucking hard on for changing Spot's life. When Spot has said fucking many times he could sit and do nothing and drink some coffee and read a book and he's comfortable with that. Why the
Well, we know he's got a fucking low ass water bill.
So why do why does he give a fuck? And see, I think that's actually something different. I'm glad you brought that up. Because with him not not showering and shit, right? It's going to affect people around him. If he's a little funky, it's going to make it a little uncomfortable to be in the room with him, right? If he
reduces his carbon footprint by only taking 3 showers a month.
So if he does that, that's affecting other people, right? He got at home from the gym and now he's going to come do the show sitting in that small, or that bedroom that they're doing the show in and that their studio or whatever, cuz Spot's in the closet, right?
I bet his space, bro, where he sits all the time,
funky.
It has to.
Yeah. You walk in right there, you're just like, oh, this is has a very Spot stench to it.
Hey, Sarah's got Febreze suction cups underneath the desk and shit, trying to fucking offset it. They got the little mister in the fucking timer in the corner.
Vent that they put like over your stove and shit that takes it out of the house? I wonder if they have one of those that fucking like is in that closet that Spot works out of.
I got a better one, bro. I bet they got that weed fucking carbon filter, bro. Like, so you can't even smell fresh weed. They got it right by his fucking chair, pulling air through that carbon filter.
Oh, that's fucking stupid, man.
Hamilton.
Right.
Are you listen to a lot of music that I don't? Remember we were talking about Slipknot a long time ago, and I sent you that dude on fucking TikTok. I don't know if you watched the video or not yet, but he's a Slipknot fan, and people like him are the reason I'm not. But Hamilton, are you into Hamilton? Have you ever been to a Hamilton show or a play? And what can you tell me about Hamilton?
I've never been to Hamilton. I've never been to. I don't know how many plays I've really been to like that, but I bet you if I went, I would probably enjoy it. I would probably dig it. I don't seek out that kind of shit, but like honestly, like I had mentioned to you, last weekend my daughter had a play, right? And it was like The Grinch or some shit. And overall, the play was cool. Not even just because she was in it, like the whole show together was enjoyable, right? I like live theater like that and shit. I think it's cool. So I would probably enjoy it. But I don't think I would unless I had like a free ticket to go. I probably wouldn't go just to go because honestly, I don't give a fuck about Hamilton. To be honest, I've heard the music and shit, and it's like
I've never heard it.
Well, Covino and Rich used to play on the show. That's the only time I've ever heard it. But
then maybe I just didn't recognize it.
It's like basically like it sounds like some really white black dudes rapping about like the president and shit. It's like very corny, like rap type of shit. I don't know, Doug. I just don't dig it.
The only Hamiltons I'm really familiar with are Rip and
Yeah,
Josh.
I'm familiar with Rip as well, but I not fucking. I don't. I mean, I'm sure it would have been cool to go to and enjoy the show with the homie or whatever, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't think I would pay to go see it. But that's just me. I mean, whatever. I heard Wicked's pretty cool. I've never fucking watched it, but my friend Cassie, she went and thought it was fucking dope. So I mean, who knows? I don't know. Maybe that shit's fucking cool. But musicals aren't. They're not something I fucking hate, but they're not something I really seek out. You know?
Yeah, no, to me it's a little corny. But again, I'm not knocking no one who enjoys it. It's just not really my cup of tea. If I'm spilling tea, it's not about Hamilton.
Yeah, no, I don't dig it. I've never, but who knows? Maybe I'd go and I'd become the biggest Hamilton fan. I feel like that's what happened to Rich. I feel like Rich didn't give a fuck. He had never heard him say anything about Hamilton, and then after fucking he came back from the show, he was Hamilton boy. So so I
Hamilton.
don't know. I mean, fucking,
Who knows?
who
You're right.
knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
I'd go and I'd fucking dig it, and I'd come back and I'd be you. I think one of the cool things though about that is that you actually get to learn about Hamilton and part of like his life and but at the same time it's like, is that really true, or is that somebody's
You know what though,
interpretation of
bro?
it?
I had it my first when I very first went back to school and shit, right? To college, community college, bro. Community. I'm not acting like a badass. It was 2 year city. But one of the first classes I took was intro to
Mm-hmm.
business. And I remember that it was, what was his name? Syvertson. That was his name. Mr. Syvertson. And he said, "Hey, your brain right here can only hold so much information. It's like a computer, right? You've only got so much fucking memory bank. I'm just not trying to fill it with shit like Hamilton
Yeah, and
or
or
Slipknot."
Slipknot. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually talking to my homie Luis last night
Shout out
actually,
Luis.
and he was like, we were talking about music, and
Shout out Danger Nuts.
shout out Danger Nuts. I was actually, speaking of Danger Nuts, I just seen his little brother the other day. Well, he's like 24, 25 probably. But I saw him at a basketball game for the college I work for. I went to one of the basketball games.
Right. Is that Danger Cacahuates?
Yeah, that's Little Danger Cacahuates. Oh, you know what's funny? Me and Luis,
LDC, bro. That's LDC. Little Danger
it's funny because me and
Cacahuates.
Luis actually have a story about Jonathan's little brother, Nate. And it's funny because now he's like 20 something and he's like 6 foot tall, But back when he was like 10 and we were like all into longboarding and shit, fucking Johnny goes down this shit where we call it Prison Hill, right? Because there's this prison that used to be on this hill.
Is Rich Davis
And
hang out there?
so, Doug, Johnny goes down his longboard on at Prison Hill, right? And fuck, if I could find the clip, maybe I could even put it in here, but it'll be a bitch to find. But Johnny fucking goes down Prison Hill. His longboard gets shaky. He gets speed wobbles. He fucking scrapes up his fucking arms and shit, Doug, right? Gets all fucked up. And all you hear is, brother! Fucking Nate going and running after him. And it's so funny because we had it recorded. And so at the time, it was on like a camera that recorded like 30 seconds at a time or some shit, because like 15 years ago.
Right.
So we're right there. And it's just so fucking funny though, because you see Johnny, and then you just hear brother, and then the video cuts off. So it
Was that mumble rap for brother?
yeah, that's fucking
Nah.
Nate. Yeah, but I got to see Nate, so that was cool. Little fucking
yeah.
Nate Cacahuates.
Nate Cacahuates está en la casa, bro.
For real, that was cool. But fuck, man, I was gonna tell you something. Okay.
Shout out Funky Monkey.
Yeah. She yeah.
I seen her with I Am Bear or I Am Son.
Bear Son.
Yeah, Bear Son. I guess he's doing like guest appearances.
Yeah, I wonder if he's finally watched that suit, because I know she said when he was like leaving, going to like the East Coast, walking or whatever, his ass was like funky as hell, and so
Did he have a fucking spot candle?
I don't know, dog. I think he needed to burn that whole suit down when he was done, because I don't know if he walked to the East Coast and walked back or some shit, but I don't know, dog. That shit. I know she had mentioned that his suit was funky as hell back in the day, so
I bet.
I don't know. Damn, I lost my train of thought on. Let me see.
Cavino, the fucking solo vato creeper. You catch that one where he's in disguise, fucking making sure Melody's okay.
Yeah, you know what? And for that, I think
Yeah,
I feel
Cavino.
like I feel like Melody was kind of like being, I don't want to say not truthful, but when Cavino was like, I think he said he told her or something, and she was like, "Oh, really, Dad? Like you were there, like kind of watching." I think she probably saw him, but didn't want to make him feel weird, like when he was telling her the story, because So I think
Right.
she was like, "Oh, really? Like I didn't even see you, But I think she kind of probably did, unless he really was like fucking. They were saying like Joe Goldberg and fucking Spot went and grabbed like a pillow or some shit, and he was all hiding behind it during the show. Like that's how
Right.
Cavino looked.
Right.
I mean that's cool on Cavino's fucking end. I think that's cool because I just think as
He cares,
no.
bro. He's going the extra
And
mile for his
again, Doug,
kid.
fuck, I swear we need to change the name of the show to fucking Bag on Rich. But Doug, Rich was like, "Oh, really? You were checking up on her? Fucking I walked all the time by myself in New York." I'm like, "Doug, you weren't a fucking 12-year-old girl. A
Right.
fucking little fucking kid like that who's like Rich could fucking yeah, no
And back then, bro, you just watched out for the person with the van. It wasn't your karate instructor, your fucking teacher. Like, bro, it's shit gone wild
no,
nowadays.
Doug, and now fucking and Rich is like, "Oh, well, they were in a crowd." I'm like, "Doug, you think fucking Melody's little transgender friends and shit? Not that she has any, but I'm just saying it's LA, right? Like, well, I'm just saying, like, Doug, like, you think fucking,
No, you said it.
like, well, they're in LA.
I put my hood on, bro, on that note.
I'm just saying they're fucking like little kids in LA. So you think they're gonna stop fucking the dude that's gonna snatch her or whatever? Like they're not gonna fucking they're probably not even gonna want to. Oh,
They could probably record it. I mean, I bet they get it on video. One of them will probably shoot the video, but that ain't gonna do nothing for your kid if she's
yeah.
taken.
I don't get it, Doug. Where Rich is like, oh, what? I'm like, Doug, what? You weren't a little girl. There's such a difference, and people could say, oh, it's not a difference. Like I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more creeps out there trying to fuck with a little girl than trying to blow fucking 10-year-old Rich.
Well, and not only that, bro, no one was trying to kidnap 10-year-old fucking Rich and his big old fucking trifocals.
With his
That fucker could see you from a mile away with he had fucking HD vision back in fucking
You mean
88.
fucking predators weren't trying to take 10-year-old Rich with his tint on his big ass 70s sunglasses looking like Elton John with his mullet and his braces?
Bro, his trifocals could see the predator, bro.
You think he could see through those people's clothes and shit like x-ray glasses? Like he could see into their brains like this motherfucker's weird. I better stay away from him.
Bro, with his trifocals, he could talk to God.
Oh fuck, man. But yeah, I just think
That's what those Bose new sunglasses with the radios are based on, bro. The technology is not as advanced as
I
Rich's
just
was.
think it's fucking stupid to just make a comment like that. Like, well, I fucking did that all the time. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you did that in the early 30s and shit, Like,
But he's the dude that always does and says dumb shit.
yeah.
I expect nothing less out of
I have a
Rich
question,
Davis.
and I think I can say we may differ on this answer. So if we do, it's even better. I
All
feel like
right.
it makes for good radio.
Allen Iverson, the answer, or
No,
something
this is
else?
gonna be okay. So fuck. Let me see. This. What do you think about or how do you feel about other people driving your vehicles? Are you a fucking like dick about it? Do you fucking allow it?
Absolutely not. I don't give two
You don't give two
shits.
shits if other people drive your vehicle?
Nope. I got State Farm and I got zero comprehensive and I got 100 for collision. So you're gonna fuck your own driving record up if you fucking do some shit. I'm not, and I got insurance to cover my shit. And worst case scenario, it's gonna cost me 100 bones. You could burn that motherfucking car, leave it in TJ. I could get it's a car, bro. I've had about 30 of them in my life and like 20 something
Yeah.
brand new. Every couple of years, I'm getting a new one. I have no personal attachment. I've had some badass whips, bro. I've had some nice cars, but I'm not taking none of them to my grave. If you fuck it up, my shit's getting fixed for less than $100. I could give two
Yeah.
shits.
Okay. Well, then I'm right there with you because Doug, the reason I bring it up is because I forget. Oh, I believe it's when they were talking about Rich congratulating people on their new car or whatever, right? Well, fucking Jason in Tampa was like,
Jason in Tampa.
he was
there
like,
he goes.
I've had my brand new truck for 5 years and only.
It ain't brand new anymore, bro. If you've had it for 5 years,
And he was
motherfucker.
like,
You know what? And I proposed something. I want you to finish, but real quick, we need to get like a Jason and Tampa jar. He fucking infiltrates the show so much that we need to put like $5 in the jar every time we have to say his name on our show.
well, Doug, even Spot was like, hey, we have Jason in Tampa. He's like, you have the floor for the next hour. And
oh, I did hear that. I did hear that.
See, Doug, I like, who gives a fuck? He said, I think 2 people have driven his car in 5 years or some shit. Doug, why the fuck, Doug? You know how many times like I've been with the homie and they've been like, hey, go grab us something to eat or something, take my car. Or me, hey, you're gonna fucking run and grab us some drinks, take my car. Or Doug, like who the fuck? Bro, who cares? It's a fucking vehicle.
Well then, I hope this then. I'm gonna make a comparison, some food for thought. He better have only let those same 2 peoples in his house.
Yeah.
Because if you won't let them drive your method of transportation, but you'll fucking welcome them to your home, it made no damn sense.
Yeah, you could be in my house and shit where my fucking
Epic assistant loan guy.
Oh, that just means fucking it's time for a new episode of Dexter this week.
And it is getting so fucking good. It is getting so fucking good. So you know what? This is the portion.
Dexter's
this is the
back.
portion of the show where if you're fucking, you need to fast forward a few minutes because I feel like talking Dexter now that you said that.
Or go fuck yourself. One or the other.
It's one of the two. So just go ahead and fast forward, 3-4 minutes. But Doug, how the fuck do you feel? Are you caught up? Okay, so you know how last episode ended, right? Fuck, Doug. Oh my goodness. Fucking it is. I'm just like, oh my goodness, this motherfucker. Even Angel Batista, where he was like, yeah, you know, she was a good young cop or whatever, and her brother died or some shit, and they're like, and he had a little kid. What was his name? And then he walks away.
Harrison?
Yeah, he walks away, and then he stops, and he turns back, and he's like, oh, Harrison. And that already got her fucking turning, It was like, all right, wait, what the fuck? Harrison? Okay.
It makes me wonder, though, if Dexter's going to have to leave, and it goes back to your theory that Harrison's the new blood, and then, like, maybe Dexter got to cut town again.
I'm thinking, yeah, well, Doug, we're in episode, like, 6 or 7, right? And there's only 10 episodes of this limited series. So I think that's why it's getting into the fucking juicy juice of this shit, where you're getting there like, oh, fuck, is this the end for Dexter altogether? Is he gonna disappear again? And now it's fucking Dexter New Blood Harrison? Or are they gonna fucking finally be on to Dexter where he's not even seen it, and they're gonna start investigating him and fucking catch his ass up, and he's in prison?
Lock his ass up, and hardcore prison, Rich.
So there's gonna be so much shit that's gonna come out if they do find out that it's him, because he supposedly died, right? They're gonna find out that he was the crazy motherfucker. His ass is going away. So, but at the same time, does that say he does get locked up and he doesn't skip town? Say he gets locked up.
Akon locked
let's
up?
Let's fucking Doug, I fucking miss Akon. I dug some fucking
locked
what was it? Fucking convict music. I like Doug. There's a clip where Snoop Dogg had, or a verse where he's like, she's helping and jumping, her titties is bouncing.
Yeah.
What is it? I forgot what song it is, but that's a dope ass track. So, well, anyway, but see, so Doug, so I think if Dexter goes to prison and now say they follow fucking Harrison, right, and now it's a new show, I think there's an opportunity for the future for it to be Dexter in prison, right? So now it's Dexter fucking in prison killing motherfuckers,
killing people, right? And then Harrison has a spinoff.
Because if Dexter's in prison, his whole shit is to fuck with people who are fucking assholes, right? So for him to find people that were fucking, like you mentioned earlier, chomos, people that were fucking that, beat their grandma to death with the fucking hammer or some shit. Like, he's going to find out, he's going to get the real story, so he's not fucking doing what our justice system does and,
letting them slip
puts a lot of people away that shouldn't even be put away. You know, I think Dexter might get the real story, and now he's fucking getting justice in prison. So
he's handling it.
So we'll see. The cool thing, Doug, is that we get to look back on this and see, like, man, we were way fucking off, or maybe we were on point. So I'm fucking so excited for this weekend, man. I'm so excited.
What about BMF? Have you seen BMF
No,
yet?
but I did see a commercial for it, Doug, and I looked so fucking. I was intrigued.
Oh,
I was so intrigued.
And it's only 8 episodes. This season's only 8 episodes, so you can catch up a hell.
Oh, you know what I tried to watch the other day? Let me see. What was I was
Debbie does Dallas, because I told you about the house I was at that she owned.
No.
How about Deep Throat or other famous movie?
Oh, was that her? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, the one with, is it Cedric the Entertainer?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that shit on I think on my Apple TV, and it said, oh, you have to be like a subscriber of some shit, like CBS some shit or whatever the fuck.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to watch it on my Fire Stick, but I do want to catch that shit though.
Oh, it's good. This episode that just came out, it's great, bro. I won't spoil it all, but the white couple I told you, the goofy dude and the lady from Two Broke Girls, they make friends with another couple, and their couple has a badass kid, and they vibe with this couple, like they day drink and have fun, and like they vibe. But the 2 kids that play together, one's their couple and their kid, and then one's the other couple's kids. The other couple's kid is a fucking maniac, dude. And do they stay friends?
He's a maniac, dude.
A maniac.
Oh, that's awesome though, man. I really want to check it out because I love. Did you ever watch back in the day the Steve Harvey show with Bullethead and fucking Romeo? Fuck, Doug. And then of course fucking Cedric was fucking on that show as well, and I always dug him as an actor, Doug. So I'm excited to watch him on his new show.
Well, this one's good because like he plays the role perfect, like. White guy next door, cornball, white guy neighbor, obviously cultures differ a little bit. And like the white guy tries super hard. And like, obviously the other dude's kind of hesitant to kind of let him in, but Ced plays this role really well. And like, I don't know, he's still hella funny without the need to cuss or being vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Cause he's still funny as shit.
Yeah.
You can watch it with your kids. That's one you can watch with your kids and not feel guilty.
That's cool, man. I can't wait to check that one out. But, yeah, but what I'm most looking forward to is Dexter. So, let me see. Rich goes back to Sirius XM. Blah 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 blah. Oh, you know what? I gotta tell you real quick. They talked Alf on the Shelf this week, right? I gotta tell you about.
Yeah. Oh, with the Shark
yeah.
Tank?
No. That was the mailbox one, the enchanted mailbox.
Okay. Not Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, you know what though? The episode of Shark Tank aired on Friday because I don't know when we're gonna get this shit out. But I think I haven't watched it, but I think the dude did get a deal because me and my sister were at Hobby Lobby like last weekend, and we saw that fucking little enchanted mailbox at Hobby Lobby. So I was like,
really?
You know what? I was like, my sister pointed it out. She's like, brother, look it. She's like, my sister's Hulk Hogan. So she was like, brother, she's like, look at she was like, there's the enchanted mailbox. And I saw it and I was like, oh, you know what? They mentioned Shark Tank. I was like, I bet you that motherfucker got a deal with like Mr. Wonderful or some shit. Or Lori or one of them bitches. And fucking they got that shit in there because, we saw it right there on one of their main displays. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. So, on the Alpha on the Shelf, they brought...
Alf on the Shelf or
Doug,
Elf?
I can't say the difference, Doug. Elf. Is it Elf?
Alf, bro. You never watched Alf?
Yeah, it is. But when I say it, Doug, I don't know how to say it differently because I can.
I think Alf needs to replace Elf because I think Alf is tighter. I'm just saying.
Doug, I can hear you say it differently right now, but I can't say it differently. To me, it's all Elf. It's Elf, the one that Rich watched, and it's Elf, the one that fucking is Santa's workers.
Just simplify it, bro, and call it E-Elf.
E-Elf. Okay, so the E-Elf on the Shelf.
The E-Elf.
You know what? Fucking speaking of Danger Nuts, Ghost and shit, and fucking Nate Cacahuates.
Nate Cacahuates.
Their sister, Jess. I was talking to her the other day too, and Doug, she had such a fucking hard on for making fun of me when it came to the word yellow, because she said I say it funny as fuck, and I'm like, I don't know, Doug. I'm like, My dad fucking didn't know English, so he was like fucking I don't know how old. I'm like, if I say shit different, it's because I grew up with my fucking dad saying shit different, you know. So I don't know, Doug.
Right.
Apparently, I say the word yellow very funny. She said I say yellow. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm like, it's a color, bitch, you know. So
What about washer or crown instead of crayon and
no,
washer?
no. My girl does say crayons, and I'm like, what the crayons
what?
for crayons?
Cran? Like
Yeah,
cranberry?
I'm like, where the fuck? Why are you leaving the Y out of this motherfucker? You know? So yeah, she's like,
Dang.
Kennedy, go get your crayons. I'm like, what? I'm like, crayons? Yeah, or she'll say mayonnaise. I'm like, are you? What the fuck? Where the fuck did it say mayonnaise?
Hey, I once knew, I still know one of my buddies a long time ago. He didn't ever want to be on a fucking jury. You know, you get your jury
Yeah.
summons in the mail. He filled that fucker out in crayon and sent it back, and they never asked him again, bro. That was the end of that. He ain't ever got the request again. He used different colors and all kind of shit.
You know what, Doug? I wonder if one day when I'm like fucking like 60, I'm just gonna go to prison because they've sent me that shit all fucking I don't know how many times, and I just always ignore it. I'm like, yeah,
Really?
I'm never fucking. I'm like my poor mom, Doug, has been over there like trying fucking. I remember one time because my brother was a cop for like I don't know how many years, 10 years or so, and I remember my mom said when they were asking him.
Did he ever arrest you?
No. well, I
okay.
remember, Doug, my mom said when they were asking him, like, oh, is there, like, do you have any bias towards, like, criminals or cops or whatever? And my mom was like, she was like, my son was a cop for this many years. She's like, so I'm always going to lean on the side of the law. And they're like, all right, lady, you can leave. But for me, I'm like, I never even fucking made it that far because I was just like, they'll send me shit. And I'm like, I'm not going to that shit. And I just ignore it. So, I guess something's supposed to happen to you, but it hasn't happened to me. So, hopefully,
I just try to tell him. I just try to tell him, thou shalt not judge, and I'm not trying to judge nobody. You guys can do that shit on your own.
yeah. I'm just saying, you know what? Depending on, no, nothing.
I can't determine someone's fate based on two people telling their version of the story.
Yeah. I wasn't
no,
there,
thanks.
so I'm always gonna
Nope.
say they were innocent, right?
That's gossip. Hey, all that shit to me is gossip, man. We can't fucking deciding someone's fate based on gossip.
They're all,
No,
Mr.
thanks.
Kui, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Kukui, you're dismissed. Hey, you want me to? Can I sign in crayon?
They have you walk up. You're all, listen, all that shit's gossip. They're like, all right, motherfucker, you're gonna fucking
is.
leave.
You guys are. Hey, it's like they dumped two puzzles in a pile, and both of them are trying to put the pieces together the way they see fit and convince you that they're right. That's what they're doing.
It's like, Doug. Anyway, well, you know what? Let me tell you real quick my quick story about Elf on the Shelf. So my fucking it was December 3rd, right? And I might have did I tell you the story about this or no? All right, so
No.
it was December 3rd, and since we moved in the last like couple of months, I didn't know where the fuck the elf was, right? My girl didn't know where the fuck it was. And so we were like, oh fuck it, we put it out on the 3rd, thinking my daughter's 5. She's not going to know any fucking different. She's going to be stoked that her homie's back, right? So,
Right.
all right. So fucking here comes her elf's name is Ariel. So, you know, we wake up one day and she's like, hey, daddy. She's like, Ariel's back. And I was like, oh, for real? That's cool. And she's like, but why wasn't she here on the 1st? And I was like, fuck. I was like,
shit.
you're 5 years old. What the fuck do you know about the 1st, you know? So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, she was fucking busy and shit, you know. I was
Right,
like,
right.
I don't fucking know. But no, but she straight up
Damn.
called me out, and that was one thing that that Cavino had mentioned. He was like, when their kids are 4 or 5, he's like, you could tell them fucking anything. He was like, but when they get a little bit older, then it's harder to keep the story going because they're fucking kids nowadays are just a lot more fucking like savvy and shit.
You can Google it. They can
Doug,
fucking Google it.
I was the dumbest motherfucker as a kid. Everything my parents told me, I fucking believed them when it came to like Santa and shit. Doug,
Well, don't feel bad, bro, because Rich is the dumbest motherfucker as an
Doug,
adult.
I remember fucking my parents going to like pay bills and shit one night, and I was like, where are you going or whatever? My mom's like, oh, we got to go pay bills, and she was like, we need to drop some money off for Santa, and I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, you know, all those toys and shit cost money to make peace, and I was like, all right. I was like, and isn't the whole thing like he like has a magical workshop and shit, right? But
yeah, he's got
yeah,
elves
but
and
apparently,
elves and
Doug,
elves.
Santa needed to buy materials, and I was cool with it. You know, I'm like,
Yeah,
And
fuck
then
it.
another conversation they had was about Christmas and how some families do it, the night of Christmas Eve, and some do it, Christmas Day. Doug, fucking, I guess my girl got mad at me because I wanted to start putting out my daughter's shit when she was like smaller, like throughout the
Yeah.
month, like, oh, wrap shit and put it under the tree. And my girl's like, no, the whole fucking shit with Santa is that he makes his way around the world, all in fucking one night and puts all the presents and shit.
All at dark and shit from midnight to fucking 4 a.m.
And Doug, and so my dumbass was like, I remember hearing that as a kid, and my mom was like, because there would be presents, right? Just randomly, we'd wake up on December 9th, and there would be a present that said from Santa, right? And I remember asking my mom, like, hey, why the fuck did Santa bring shit if he's supposed to do it all on one night? And my mom was like, well, there's a lot of kids around the world. He's got to get some done early, right? And my dumb ass is like, okay, went and played. And it's just crazy because, like, my daughter the other day when I told you she had a performance, we went to her performance and, did the whole elf thing while she was gone because I think we had forgot to do it that day or some shit. So we come back and she's like, Ariel moved. So she's like, how did she know we were gone? And then we were like, I don't know, the house is quiet, And then she was like,
yeah.
So she knew that all of us were going to be gone at my performance? And we were like, yeah. And she was like, so Doug, she's fucking 5. And she's over here questioning us like, listen, motherfucker, this shit already don't make sense, So I don't know how much longer we can keep it going with her because she'd be asking too many fucking questions. And
well, she can Google it.
I know,
bro.
and that is scary too, because like, Doug, and she, you know what? One time I was like, because she'll bring me my phone or her phone, and she'll say, hey, can you download this app for me? And I'm like, okay. Or and like now she's learning how to spell and shit. But I remember one time I was like, how does she search the shit that she digs? Well, one time I saw her hit the microphone, and she was like, Adelie playing with toys or some shit, right? This kid that she watches, and then it typed out her voice to text. So I'm like, all she has to do is say, is Elf on the Shelf real? And fucking it'll search it for her, So it's just crazy, man. But
you know how I found out? I'm trying to look for it right now. I'm trying to Google it. But when I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 10, maybe 11 at the oldest. My pops had a Lincoln Mark 7, and anyone that knows those old school Lincolns, you could type in the code on the door handle, and if you hit an extra button, it would pop the trunk. And I was looking for like my football cleats or my baseball glove or something, and I went out there and I fucking popped the trunk, and I don't remember if it was a Sega Genesis or a Neo 16. I forgot. I was trying to look for the name, but there was another console that was dope back then, and I remember popping the trunk, and my shit was sitting right there like a week before Christmas. Like,
Albert.
hell no, that's some bullshit. But yeah, man. So that's how I found out. I popped it and shit, and that's how I found out.
Oh, that's funny as fuck, man. Oh, you know what? I know we were talking about earlier about some of like the shit that I'm into that you don't dig and shit. Doug, you want to know how much of a like nerd I am and shit when it comes to like Michael Jackson and like choreography and shit? I watched a documentary.
Oh, I got a good idea.
Okay, well, I watched a documentary the other day on a dude named Vincent Patterson, who was
any relation to the dude that Robert Pattinson?
No, this is Patterson. But this dude was the guy that choreographed the Smooth Criminal video, and he was also one of the dudes in the Beat It video that is in the knife fight, right? So there's a black dude and a white dude in the knife fight. He's the white dude in that fight. So it talks about how like fucking he wasn't even like that known of a choreographer when Michael gave him told him to do Smooth Criminal and shit. And then they start talking about like his whole career and shit as a choreographer. That shit was like 45 minutes, and I dug the fuck out of it. So I was like, after I watched it, I was like, this is some shit that Al Kakui won't watch in his whole fucking life. It was cool though.
No sir.
Yeah,
I'll watch Mac Dre Trill TV.
Yeah, I'm not that cool, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, yeah, you're cool. No, you don't have to. Hey, I don't say. Check it out, and I'll be clear. I don't set the level of cool. I just know shit that I like and I don't like. That don't mean it's cool or it's not cool, because there's plenty of cool shit. Like I remember one time I was at a Grateful Dead show concert as a kid, and Jerry Garcia was alive, and they were performing, and I didn't like it, bro. That shit was like weird. People were twirling and fucking acting all funny and shit, you know. And I might have ate a little bit of fungi and went in there, and I just wasn't digging it. But there's lots of people that do. So to them, it's cool. To me, it wasn't. No judgmental. I'm not. I'm into my own shit. You know what I mean? But that don't mean it's not cool, man. You're cool, dude. Even if we don't share the same exact taste of music or Hamilton.
Yeah, no, I got some cornier shit that I won't bring up right now, but
that's all I got for the day, though.
Yeah, no, same here, Doug. I think overall, I don't think anybody knows the level of frustration that we had going into this episode, but we're here now. Fucking, I feel like it was cool overall. So we worked through it, Doug. I'm excited.
We're semi-professionals.
Yeah. I told Carl Reinhardt, because he hit me up and he was like, "Dude, what the fuck happened to the audio in the last episode?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Fucking all kinds of people hit me up and they were like, "Hey, around 20 minutes and 42 seconds, El Cucuy sounds like the fucking devil," you know? And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck, my bad." So I told him, "Hey, I'm not trying to overpromise and underproduce." So I told him by episode 500, our fucking show is going to be flawless. So
by episode 500, we're going to have Jay-Z on.
By episode 500, yeah, we have to have somebody. Yeah, by episode 500, Jay-Z probably won't even be relevant anymore. So maybe we can get him on.
That's all right. We'll have we'll have someone else instead. It's all good. We're going to new heights. Man.
So, yeah. Episode 105, I believe, is where we're at. So, El Cucuy, do you have any parting words before we bring in the homie?
Estolo, that's
Oh,
it.
you know what? I know. Hold on just 2 seconds because I forgot the Zoom changed and shit. So, after show but later, your boys D, El Cucuy. Make sure you find us on social media everywhere at AfterShowBL. At AfterShowBL. Hit us up, 928. Oh, your shit's right here if you're watching it on fucking YouTube. 928-235-5285. Go like our page on Facebook, fucking all that bullshit.
Crank, call us, leave voice messages, all
tell
that shit.
Tell us we suck, tell us you love us, tell us fucking, hey, they need to get the fat white guy off and get a brother in there. Hey, fuck. I'll control shit from behind the scenes. So, after show but later, baseline Trey, let's go home.
Go to the riches, cause it's all about the flavor. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the head.